Hi, I'm Rika Brandon, recruiting and retention expert with Building Gurus. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that might be a wee bit controversial, but I deeply believe it, and I'd be happy to hop into a discussion with anyone about it. So, with this, I'm going to say something that people might not expect, recruiting and retention expert to say, and that is that reference checks are a waste of time. I know, right? It's a little bit unorthodox to say that out loud, but let me share why I feel like they're not a great use of your time in the selection process. And above and beyond all things, the backdoor or guerrilla reference check is really something that is not a good use of your time. So without further ado, why do I think reference checks are a waste of your time? So the first thing is the interview is the most powerful tool we have in the selection process. We know that we shouldn't use anything as more than 30% of our decision, from their resume to any assessment results to interviews, things like that. We want to make sure we're taking the totality of information we have and making an informed decision from it. So with that, reference checks have been around a long time. And on the surface of them, they're great. Of course, if I could have a hiring manager tell me what they liked and didn't like about this employee so I could not make the mistake, oh my gosh, yeah, they would be amazing. Okay, I don't think I've been alive since that's been the case with reference checks, right? And I was born in the late 70s. So with that, I want you to think about the idea of reference checks is very, very different than the reality of them. So the reality is that due to legal considerations and protections from liabilities, very few companies and very few hiring managers will give you much of anything unless it's going to be a great review, right? So they're just really protected. They need to be protective of the potential litigation that could come from it. So first off, you're going to get stuff like dates of employment, compensation when they left, title when they left. You're not going to get a lot of great information about who that person is, how they showed up, right? So I want you to just really be clear about the value of the data has dropped exponentially, right? So the number two thing, and this is where I think we really have our great opportunity to improve, is that you're asking them to provide you references, right? You're not like going out cold calling like, hey, did they supervise you? What do you think about them, right? Like you're not actively seeking out people. So inherently, they're going to give you people that say good things. And here's the deal. If they don't give you references that say good things, in the very, very rare chance they do that, you clearly failed in your interview process, because if they're not smart enough and savvy enough to realize they should give you somebody who's going to say something good, you probably should have caught that in the interview process. I'm just saying, I got a lot of tips on that, a lot of blogs, a lot of videos. So go and check those out if that's happening to you more than once a year or two. So anyway, with that, these are the reasons I think reference checks have really lost a ton of their value. One, there's way too much fear of litigation. So the value and the information you get is very limited. In fact, Dilbert had a great commercial about this where they said, hey, I'd like to do a reference check for so-and-so. And they said, here's the base information I can give you. I can't talk about anything else, but we could talk about the weather if you wanted. And then it's like, hey, the weather is stupid and it's floating lazily by, right? So everything in reference checks has to be inferred. And that's a real dangerous way to get information. So with that, just keep in mind, one, there's very little of value that they are comfortable sharing. And if it's a personal reference, you can almost be certain it's their friend. If it's a past coworker they're sharing with you or past boss, you can guess that those people became friends at work, right? So I want you just to recognize that all of that information is coming through a heavily filtered view of people who are going to say nice things. And of course, that's great to hear, especially if you want to hire the person. It's like another rubber stamp on, yes, let's move forward. But is it the highest and best use of you and your team's time? I kind of doubt it. I think doing a better job interviewing, introducing some pre-hire projects, and really having a deeper dialogue in the interview is going to give you the information you need to determine if they're a great fit for this position in your organization. All right. I hope that helps. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more and get notified every time I drop one. Also, if you would like to learn more about working with us, I encourage you to check out buildinggurus.com/discovery to schedule a call with me or one of my team members to talk about how we can help you finally solve those recruiting, hiring, and retention challenges you've been facing. Until then, happy hiring.